Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Before we begin the evening, I have a kind request. Please keep your systems muted. Your cameras can be on. It'll give us a feeling that we are all in the same room. I hope I'm audible to everyone. I'm Abhishekta, the moderator of today's evening. I'm pleased to welcome all of you today in this function, the release of the poetry book entitled Potto Sangini by Sri Shubhranshu Mahapatra. Apology if I've not been able to pronounce the name properly. It is mainly because of my own language limitations. I thank each one of you for consenting to our requests and making time to attend this ceremony. The release of the book was planned a couple of months ago. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, the second wave, we decided to hold it, given that many of our near and dear ones were going through a very tough time. We're very glad that finally we are here today and we will celebrate the great day together. I would especially like to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Jai Singh, the reviewer of the book, Professor Anjuman Ara, the translator of the book, Srimati Banashri Mahapatra, last but not the least, the poet of the book, Sri Shubhranshu Mahapatra ji. Before we move ahead, I would like to introduce our guest of honor, chief guest, Dr. Bhagaban Jai Singh ji. He is an academician by profession with over 35 years of experience in teaching. Dr. Jai Singh has served the government of Odisha in various respectable positions as Deputy Director, Higher Education and Principal of a college. Currently, he is the Dean, School of Communications, ASBN University, Bhubaneswar. Dr. Jai Singh has published several collections of poetries in Oriya and English. He is the recipient of various literary awards, including the prestigious Vishab Jhankar, Utkal Sahitya Samaj, Jeevan Rang Samaroh, Odisha Journalists Association Awards, besides Odisha Sahitya Academy Award for his poetries and many more. Welcome to you, Professor Dr. Jai Singh. Our next guest is Professor Anjuman Ara. She is currently an Associate Professor of Hindi in Ravenshaw University, Cuttack, Odisha. She has been writing poems since her student days. Her poems have been published in established magazines such as Sakhi, The Public Agenda, Dastavez, Chapte Chapte, Vishwa Mukti, Katha Katha Kabita Kabita, and Kabya Loka. She is well known as a bilingual translator, translating both from Oriya to Hindi and Hindi to Oriya. She is awarded with numerous awards such as Swagatika Samman, Sahanamela Samman, Raj Sabha Samman, Fakir Mohan Senapati Samman, Shujan Samman, Arun Prabha Samman, Palak Kavita Samman, and Sahitya Academy Anuvad Purushkar 2021. Welcome to all of you. I hope I'm audible to all of you today. I will pause here for a bit, as I know we are all waiting for the book release. The books were sent to our chief guests and the reviewer.
Pin me and Vanasri.
I can't.
But unfortunately, the books did not reach them. However, I would request Srimati Banashri Mahapatra ji, the translator of the book and the author of the book, Sri Mahapatra ji, Shubhranshu Mahapatra ji, to please release the book.
Thank you, Abhishekta. I hope you are seeing my screen here.
Abhishekta, we all are happy to do that today. So this is our effort and we have done for so many months. So here it goes for all of you. Pathasangini.
Yeah, I hope mine screen is also visible. I can see Banasri yours clearly.
Adarsh, if you can just spotlight me and Shubhranshida, that would be great.
Can you spotlight like yesterday what you did? Yeah, in his computer it is showing spotlight. I'm not sure it is why it is not coming here.
Yes, you are on the spotlight. We can see the book, and
Okay.
it's feeling great. I'm sure, as the writer, the poet, you must be feeling very happy, because I know how much you've been waiting for this day. We all were, but I think, you will feel more connected. So congratulations, Shubhranshuda. We are very proud of you, and may this journey as a writer continue.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think, we shouldn't waste time, but actually hear from you as the writer, if you have something to share about the book, because I think you will do justice than me introducing your book, and also share about your writing experience. I hope we'll also get to hear a couple of your poetries. Over to you.
Thank you, Abhishekta. It's my pleasure to introduce my book Pathasangini to all of you who are assembled here. Pathasangini is my second poetry book after Antaruru Kichipada. This book is a collection of romantic poems which details my journey from a period of waiting to a period of discovery, then to a period of inspiration, and finally few poems on separation. I had launched this book in 2019 in Odia. Many of my friends who cannot read Odia, since I have been staying outside of Odisha for long, many of my friends are non-Odia people. So they suggested to me that I should translate this book to Hindi so that it can reach a much broader audience. Today's Hindi version is a small attempt in that direction. Coming to the theme of this book and my experience, love is a sacred emotion for me, with the most positive feeling that a person can experience. Just like hate moves the world in a destructive direction, love moves the world in a constructive direction. I write only when I feel very strongly about something. These are poems which I wrote some time back when I was in college and then getting settled in life after getting a job and then looking forward to finding a life partner. So these are all poems which I published as a collection a few years back, like I mentioned earlier. Most of the poems are written spontaneously, only at the moment when some situation or some person really inspired me. It was a very organic experience. I would like to recite a few poems, as Abhishekta had mentioned, to recite. So as far as my writing experience has gone, like I said, it's a very organic experience, and it all came at the moment as I was getting inspired. So I will, like I mentioned, there are basically 4 themes to this book. The first theme is waiting, and in that theme I would like to recite a poem called Au Kete Dina. So the poem goes like this: Monore mo asaranti premo, akhire mo akhiye sapana, kahibaku मन खोली कथा, मन मोर खोजुछि मन, जहा पाई प्रसारित हस्त, आउ सबु मंथर मुहूर्त, नेई करी अपेक्षा करिछि, केबे सिय देखिबो मो पथ, जहा काने मरम दरद, चुपी चुपी कहिले कहिबो, आमे तुमे सुखे दुखे साथी, दुहिंक भितरे कोन बा प्रभेद, हाथ जार धरी धीरे धीरे जीवनर समुद्र सज्जारे चालिबी मु ढेउ काटी काटी हजिबाकू प्रेम प्रलय रे मन मोर झुरे सेई मन चुरुअछि सेई हाथ कान पचारुछि सिए बार बार बीतीजीव प्रतीक्षा रे आउ केते दिन. This was a poem which I wrote when I had got a good job in the DRDO and was waiting for a life partner. Then came the period of discovery when I started attaching my feelings to specific individuals, and there were many poems in that period. I would like to recite one which is titled Ajana Rajakanya. The poem goes like this: छाती तले उत्तेजना मन मध्ये प्रीतिबन्या हृदयर अधिष्ठात्री किए तुमे अपरूपा कन्या एई जेउ कोठाटी रे अधा खोला झरका फांकरे अनैछ मोते नेई करी जुगांतर मिलन बासना मिलीगले चारि आखी मुह दियो धीरे पोती काहींकी एमिति कर मन मोर जमारू बुझेना हे जणा राजकन्या किए तुमे काहार ललना छटपट जिज्ञासुए प्राण खाली तुम परिचय बिना. So this was a phase where I started attaching feelings to some individuals, and then came the period which I called as the inspiration, and the attachment grew a little stronger, and I had many poems in this period. One of them I would like to say on the inspiration phase is Nidrita Sundari. So this is something when I was working in DRDO in Hyderabad, and then we had a test planned in Balasore on the Chandipur test range, and I had come for the missile test, and I was going back to Hyderabad in a train. So I met this beautiful lady on the train, and I wrote धावमान जान्न गभोर रे बातानुकूलित कक्ष पलंक रे सोइछ सुंदरी कमनीय अलस भंगी रे शांत सौम्य रूप मुखर से आभा नैसर्गिक रूपर सलिता गुणी हुई करी महकई कक्ष सारा अबा सुप्तसीना रूपवती तुमे प्रगल्भ प्राण मोर कुहे रहिमग्न एपरी निद्रा रे आमोदित अनिद्रा रे खेलुअछ मते. So you are sleeping, but you are putting me onto a phase of sleeplessness, but that sleeplessness is really something that is enjoyable. Now the final phase where I got my life partner and I had to be away from her. I was away in US for a long period of time after my marriage, and then I'm missing my wife, my family a lot. Then I wrote for her this phase, तुमो बिना शून्य ए जीवन छंदहरा बेसुरा गायन संपद और प्राचुर्य मध्यरे दारिद्र्यर पूर्ण प्रचलन तुम बिना जीवने विराम क्षुधा तृष्णा विस्मरित मन विश्वख्यात भोजनालय रे आहार मो लागे स्वादहीन तुम बिना रात्रि उजागर चक्षु उभा पसरा निद्रार अमूल्य राजपलंक भी लागे अबा कंटकित द्वार तुम बिना सरेनी समय जीवन रे नाही ताल लय यात्रा लगे एते असरंती धैर्य मोर होई विलय तुम बिना सबु किछि शून्य मन किंतु सदा चिंता पूर्ण केबे पुनी देखा हेबो कुह अपेक्षा रे चलिथिबो आउ केते दिन. So this was the last poem I wanted to recite. That this is when I was in a very luxurious guest house in US and having food at all the most what I say the costliest restaurants in US, and but everything seemed empty. The only thing that seemed full was my mind with all the thoughts about her, about the family, about India. So this is what I wrote. So this is the things I wanted to tell. I hope I could bring some feel to my audience, to the esteemed participants who have joined here. So over to you, Abhisikta.
Thank you, Shubhranshuda. It's an honor that the poet recited the poems for us. So I'm sure all our audience today, they want to really grab the book, read it for themselves. I like the way you have taken us through the journey, the 4 stages of your life. So if I have to ask you, as a poet, out of the 4 phases, in which phase did you have the major experience in terms of your learnings? Was it the phase when you were waiting, or was it the phase when you were getting inspired, or that detachment from your family, that was the time when you know you were enlightened towards, like you said, it's not material needs which is important, but more than that, the need for family, the need for one's loved people, loved ones. So which phase was like gave you more learning out of all the four phases?
Yeah, thanks, Abhisikta. That's a nice question. But all phases are always have something or other to give us learning. So each phase has its own learnings. We go through each phases, and every phase we need to go through that phase to learn. So as when you are kind of starting, you are waiting for somebody, the feeling is different than the phase where you started to attach feelings to individuals. And then the feelings get stronger, then you get to a life partner, you settle, and then you still, does not mean that love has ended. The love goes through kind of metamorphosis from one form of love to another. Today at my phase, I may have a lot of love to my children, to the kids. It keeps, this love evolves, like we say, right? We have a love as a student, love towards our studies, love towards equations, love towards so the love has has learning in each phase. I would not say any one phase has more learnings than the other. I would like to say that the learning should continue till I die. So I would I would take it in that sense.
I think that's a very good response. That's a very good response, quite impressive. So I also have another question for you. See, so as individuals, the meaning of love is so different for, and it changes phase wise. When we are in college, it's not so much of responsibility. It could be infatuation also. But then over time, now that we are settled, we are married, for us love has a different meaning altogether. It's more about responsibilities. It's about caring for the smallest of things. You need not say love you to the person all the time, but then there is so much there are so many other things that shows that you love the person, or the other person loves you. But then in this book, so I want to know which kind of audience will be more connected to this book. Who are the who are your real target audience? The college guys, the middle range people like us, who are in some point of time, like we were also young, or very senior people who have really understood the meaning of life. They are really old now. They know that nothing matters, but it's only the company of one's partner that is more important. So which sector, like which segment of the population do you think will get more inspired from this book?
Yeah, again, another, you may say this is a diplomatic answer, but anybody who is young at heart can enjoy this book. Okay, so but it more specifically targeted toward the young audience, people who are more towards in waiting for the life partner, in the page of inspiration. That's the segment that I have tried to target this book. And that's where I also thought of making something that will relate to this segment, the young segment. And I came up with some videos, less than 1 minute videos, because I know that this young segment would like to be more towards audio visual medium. And they would like to have something which is very less than a minute kind of attention span. So my book is more towards the young generation, but nevertheless, anybody who is young at heart and who still feels young, they will definitely, I hope they will all feel good about this book.
Very, very, very nice. I think which means that we all should go and get the book. We all are young at heart, and youngsters should definitely go and explore, the various phases of love. That's awesome. And I think one last question from my end, but of course, the audience here, I'm sure they will also have a lot of questions for you and the translator. So we'll ask the audience to shoot questions in some time. But my last question to you now is tell me, is this book dedicated to one particular person or a lot of people who have come to your life? So, yeah.
This book is not.
I hope I'm not putting you in trouble.
No. It is. So the thing is, this book, I did not write this book in one flow. Like I said, it has gone through its phases. So this book is not really written like a book in one phase, right? So it's a collection of poems that was written at various point of time. There's something was written in my college days, starting from my college days, when I really, this feeling started coming to my mind. Then it got strengthened when I was really into my job and then looking for a partner. So so this book is not written like a book. It is, you can say it's a collection of poems. So it's like we say India is not a country, it's a collection of states. So each state is different, right? So each poem is dedicated to someone, but as a book as a whole is not dedicated to anyone else. This is a collection. This is a more of a collection of poems. So this is not one book that is written for a specific individual. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, of course. And I'm very satisfied with all your answers. So thank you, Shubhranshuda, for enlightening us about the book. Yeah, we'll continue the discussion. Now we'll move ahead a little bit, and we are waiting eagerly to hear from the translator of the book also, Banashri ji. So she's translated all your Oriya poems to Hindi. So it'll be good to hear from her about herself, of course. We know she is a very beautiful dancer. She dances Odissi. She's also my teacher. So I've got a lot of respect for her. She's also an HR person. So she works, but I'm sure there are a lot of other sides to her. She's a poet herself. So she could, over to you, Banashri, tell us about yourself and tell us about your experiences of translating these collection of poems.
Thank you, Abhishekta. I'm glad and I'm blessed, and I thank you all of you for this opportunity to be a place for a first-time author as a translator. As you mentioned, yes. This is Banashri Mahapatra. I'm from Odisha. Being the eldest daughter of my parents, I was always in the benefit of getting everything that you want to get. So my journey started from there itself. Anything I wish to do, they never said me, no, you cannot, or there is no barrier for me. So I would say they had given a wing to fly. So where am I now about this journey about being a poet? I think it started from there itself. But before that, I would say that by profession, I'm a HR manager. I'm working with an organization currently. And by a person, I'm a very lively person, I would say. I think some of you are there, know me. They would definitely agree to that. So whenever you talk about any adventure, any, go for a trip or anything, I'll be the first one who will say, okay, I'm in for that. And I'm married since almost 10 years. Right now, these days, I'm staying in Bangalore with my kid and my husband, with our in-laws as well. And yes, so talking about this, I think since childhood, I have got this habit, to pen down all my thoughts and feelings in form of shairis or short poems. How Shubhranshuda said that he experienced all those feelings, whatever he has written in this poem. However, I'm totally opposite to this. I remember, so let me just complete this. So which currently, in digital transformation era or in this place, and with the push of few of my friends, they are still there. I able to convey those poems or thought of minds in this online page, which is called Ruhaniyat. So yeah, please go and subscribe to my channel as well. And with it now, this opportunity of Pathasangini, I'm able to truly represent my inner self through this, translated poetries or poems or maybe short stories. To start my journey here, it's not an easy job. When he asked me, would you do this? I was very excited. Okay, something good you get to write. So I was, okay, I'll be able to do it. But to understand, it is not a word-to-word translation, or it's not that. Otherwise, you could have done with the help of Google Translator. There are many ways. When I started doing it, I realized I have to do a lot. You won't believe there are a few poems which I had to edit 4 or 5 times, and then we got some version. Even after that, when I sat with him to discuss, he was saying, nah, this is not exactly what I felt that time. So you have to change this. So when you write something on your own, you just get with the flow. But when you have to represent someone's thought in your own words, I think the challenge that I face. Because what I experience, it's like you need to feel the content and recreate the poetry in your own words. So this is a very small, a small step or small initiative that I've done from me. And I hope all of you like this articulation attempt, first attempt of mine. I was saying, so I keep on posting something in Insta, whatever I feel or whatever come to my mind. So somebody, actually not somebody, 3-4 persons, they asked me, so where you had this incident with you? I said, I never experienced this. They said, no, you're just lying. He keep on arguing with me. But I would like to say it is not necessary. If something, a poet, I'm not a poet, but if something someone is writing that they have experienced that could come with the experience itself, where or non-fictionable, or maybe the person is not exist and I'm just experiencing myself, putting here, myself putting there. So yeah, so I thought I'll be able to do it, and that's how I said yes to Shubhranshu. And yeah, and yes, I did it. And I would like to read a poem from this. So fortunately, even I picked the same poem what Shubhranshu has just read, and we listened to that, but that was the Odia version of it. Now let me read my version of that. Okay, so that is और कितने दिन, दिल में लिए बेशुमार प्यार, दिल में लिए बेशुमार प्यार, आंखों में भरे सपने हजार, चंद बातें करने की कल्ब की, ऐसा एक मन ये दिल ढूंढे बार बार, जिसके लिए खुली रखी है बाहें, जिसके लिए हमने खुली रखी है बाहें, बिन उसके नासुर बनी हर पल की यादें, सिमटा हर उस पल में कर रहा हूं इंतजार, और कर रही हूं इंतजार, न जाने इन राहों में कब होगा उसका दीदार। ऐसा है वो एक साथ, ऐसा हो वो एक साथ, जिससे कर लूं मैं दिल की हर एक बात, दो जिस्म एक जान, कब होगा मुमकिन ऐसा दिलकश अंदाज, जिंदगी के गहरे समंदर में हर लहर पे तेरा ही साथ हो, इस जिंदगी जितनी ही मुमकिन हो उसके हर गहरे समंदर में बस तेरा ही साथ हो, खुद को भुला दो तेरी चाहत की उल्फत में, शिद्दत मेरी चाहत की अब तुझे पाने की हो, इंतजार इश्क अब नहीं है मंजूर, तड़पे उस आलम को अकेले बिन तेरे हर पल, ये जिस्म ये रूह ये वक्त करे बस एक ही सवाल, तन्हा ये जिंदगी कटेगी हमारी और कितने दिन। This is in the poem. While I was reading it before we could join this call, I just added one more stanza to it, which is my own. और कितने दिन, और कितने दिन, तकते तुम्हारी राहें ये नजरें, तकते तुम्हारी राहें ये नजरें, बिताऊं मैं गिन के बिछड़े वो दिन, वो रातें वो दिन, इंतहा हो गई अब इंतजार की, जिया ना जाए अब तुम्हारे बिन। So thank you for having me here, and I wish all of you just go and get this book and read. Any comments, anything you'd like to share, we are always there for you. Thank you.
Awesome,
Thank you.
awesome, Banashri, so nice. And though I could understand Oriya poems also, but I think, yes, of course, Hindi, it was easy for me. So, I would definitely read all the poems, and I'm sure I'll be back with all the feedback. But they're very nice and they're very romantic. So tell me, as a person, are you very romantic? Because I think, it's all right. I mean, sometimes, you might not experience, you have to create certain things. But in spirit, you must be a very romantic person to be able to pick up this book and to be able to do so much justice to the translation.
Yes, I would say yes. I will not deny this. I am. I think I should ask my husband about it.
No, I think, being romantic is, we can romanticize anything, even the nature.
Yes.
We can romanticize
Yes,
that.
to feel.
So,
Yeah,
to feel.
yeah, even I came on that context itself. So I see things in a very different way. With my plants also I talk, and when I go for a drive or nature, I try to create something which is not there. I see myself, okay, that the mountain is there, and I see myself sitting there and waiting for someone. So there are so many stories in my mind. There are so many people. There are so many characters are there in my mind. So yes, I would say I'm in love with the nature. I'm in love with all over the places that I've been and have not been also. I would like to be there. So I think, yeah, that's what you call, unless until you create something, and sometimes you don't create, they just come because, and you know, Abhishekta, this is a very funny thing, might be for everyone. When I write something, no, sometimes I get, sometimes I feel to cry, and sometimes I get tears in my eyes because I feel them. And that's not even like I think about it and then I write or then I feel it. No, where you feel it and then, yeah, you just, you feel it. So you let it go. So I think that's how I am. So that's how it comes also. So, yeah, it's just naturally.
Very nice, very nice. To all of those who write, I'm sure you can connect to it. And you guys are getting a lot of comments, okay? So please do read the chat. There are people who are bombarding you with good words, kind words, beautiful
Thank
words.
you.
So please read. Okay, now I think I should stop here because, I should not be the one only speaking. I'm sure there are beautiful audience here who would be, interested to ask you so many questions. So I think people, I mean, feel free to unmute your systems and ask questions to the translator, to the poet. You can also put it in the chat box. I can read it for you. So if you have questions for Shubhranshuda and Banashri Didi, please write the questions. Or just, ask them.
I think can we unmute all others? I think.
I'm sure people have the unmute rights. I mean, do people have the right to unmute and mute themselves?
I think there is one question for Banashri.
Okay, that is Banashri, any inspiration you have? Inspiration, yes. That question is from Abarna. Thank you, Abarna. So I think most of us having someone as an inspiration for in their life, but I would say, I'm so sorry, I'm not having any one person. I think from the time I got my senses or started, knowing or thinking about my life or anything, it started with my parents. Of course, I took inspiration from them, and it's going on. It's a non-stop journey that is happening with me. I think when I'll die, it's gonna finish at that point of time. Every day, every time, every people I meet, even some of my family, my husband, even sometimes my kid, he does such things. I feel that, oh my God, I need to take some inspiration from him as well. My parents, my family members, my friends. So it's just an ongoing journey that has come with me along this way, and only my inspiration for a better tomorrow, and that I always look for. If something is wrong today, I took my experiences or my inspiration from my life or my people who are with me, and then look forward to have a better future, better day. I hope I answered it, Avanna. Thank you.
Oh, you ended in a very, I mean, nice note, inspiration for a better tomorrow. So very, very
Yeah.
beautiful. You have a
Thank you.
question by from Abhaji. She is asking, I think Shubhranshuda, you can also enlighten her. Where is the book available to buy?
Yes, the book is right now available at pothi.com. We'll put the link in the chat box. Others, can you put the link on the chat box? And it will also be available in Amazon and Flipkart in 1 week's time, max. So you can buy that. I hope you'll be the first person. Be as the kind of be the early buyers. It's always nice, right? So thank you for asking this question. Yeah, I hope you got the link now. So just click it online. Everything is online, right? So yes, go ahead.
I think this question is for you, Shubhranshuji. What inspired you to make this poem book? This is from Riyansh. It's none other than my son.
Okay, thank you. You are asking a big question from a, a small boy. So yeah, so this poem book, like I said, I mean I wrote many of these poems on the spur of the moment. Like I said, some situations I described. So I write only if I feel authentic about it. I don't write something like if somebody says, like something is coming up, there is a puja issue, now Durga Puja is coming, this special issue is coming up, please write something on, XYZ theme that is going on now. I don't write for that. I don't write for any theme. I don't write for my publishers. I don't write for any of the friends. who are either publishers or magazine, they have their own magazines or online magazines. I'm part of many groups where they ask, I'm a special issue is coming, please make something for it. I don't write it for that. I write if only if I feel authentic and I have something to share, like something I feel strongly about it, I write. So I have not written the book. The book has written itself, in the sense that I have written only the poems, and the poems together made a book. So you think in that sense that, there were situations, persons who inspired to write me certain poems, and the number of poems became such that I thought of writing I just yeah.
I think I'll request audiences, please mute yourself.
Yes, someone is talking. So it came to the point that there were enough number of poems that merited being a book. Many of my friends and family also told, why don't you make a book? So it finally did not come to a proper size. I wrote few poems at the end just to fill up the book. That's where it has not come out authentic, but most of the poems are authentic poems. So yeah, that is something that I wanted to tell.
Adarsh, I hope when you grow up, sorry, not Adarsh, sorry, Riyansh. Riyansh was the one to ask questions. I hope when he grows up, he'll also come across many situations, and we'll also get a book from him. So God bless you, Riyansh, because the way he's asking questions, I mean, he is in the journey, started his journey. So there is another question for, I think it's for Shubhranshu, but I think Banashri can also answer, both of you. What's your most favorite poem? So one is, I think both of you can pick up your favorite poem and tell us which of it is yours most favorite from the collection. Shubhranshuda and Banashri both can, pick up one and tell us.
No, like I said, I know, like it's very difficult because all are my creations, right? To separate one creation from another, just like asking me to separate between my two children, right? So both all the creations are very dear to me, so it's very difficult to say which one is my favorite poem. So each poem, so like I said, I mean, it's not like nothing is made to order poem. It is all authentic feelings. So those feelings are sacred feelings for me, which I felt at that point of time. And I never regret doing anything, because that's the particular time. If I read it, the lines, the words, the stanzas, the exact situation comes to my mind. So each poem and each line is very, very sacred to me. So I would definitely not differentiate one poem or the other, because it's, like I said, everything is authentic. So I won't answer that question, unfortunately, Sai. So
see, as a parent, I think I can relate to this comment, because see, if you have 5 or 7 children, you can't pick up one, but because all are so equal. But Banashri, is it the same for you? Because you translated the books, so you can have some personal favorite, I'm sure, or you would have some personal favorite.
Yeah, it's not for me the same. For him, it's difficult for him to choose. For me, it was easy. So I can say where I could get really along with the poem. It was very easy, very smooth for me to write or to put my thoughts in that. That would or kitne din, what I just recite, before some time. Even there was one Intizar was there. So that even I like the way it has been written. So yeah, these two are my favorite among this all.
Nice, nice. So you have another question, Banashri. It's from Reshmi, and she is asking. So first of all, she's congratulating to both of you, and then she asks,
"Thank you, Reshmi.
Banashri, which emotion you would be more happy to portray as a poet? Is her question.
So whereas here we have seen all, love and feeling for someone, my poems would be a little different. I would love to portray all this viraha, or separation, or the feeling of not having one. In fact, I have written so many separation poems. I got requested to write something very, lovable, or get along with your loved ones. So those poems. So I'll try to write on that, but. Which is close to me is the separation part. Like you think you socha hai. Even the one that I just recited before on my own, that was also like that. Ki you are still not there with me. When are going to come? So I think it's so taking in my words, which is just coming to me. So taking in my words, हम तो यूं ही इस राहों में तेरा इंतजार करते रहेंगे, हम तो यूं ही इस राहों में तेरा इंतजार करते रहेंगे, ए बेदर्दी ए बेहरम, ए बेदर्दी ए बेहरम जालिमा, कभी तो थोड़ा वक्त निकाल के हमसे भी मुलाकात कर लिया करो. So yeah, it's just come. It is not so good, but yeah, I just tried.
No, it's
Thank
very,
you.
very nice, very nice. Thank you. You have other questions also to both of you. Jayashree Mahapatra ji is asking,
There
how
is
much
one
time?
question. I think Mitu is asking. I think you missed it.
Okay, which is you can take that question. Which
Okay,
is that?
it was a direct message. So it is not from everyone. So it is not
Okay.
sent to you. So a question to Subhranshu. I have gone through the Odia version of Patha Sangini and found every poem has its own story. How could he manage to write so many poems without any repetition in their storyline?
I would like to answer this because I have understood them so well.
Okay.
If it's okay with you, Shubhranshu ji.
Yeah.
So I think what I got in this book, you know, he has literally gone through that phase and he felt those moments. So I think when you felt something, that no repetition will come. If I write something, there's a possibility that repetition will come because this is all imaginary, this is all fiction, you know. But when you be in that situation, it's very hardly to say that the situation will repeat again and again. So I think that's how there is a uniqueness in each and every poem, and you will not find any repetition in any one of the poem. You can correct me, Shubhranshu ji. So
Yeah. So that's absolutely right, because there is, you know, like Mitu is my school friend. So like you told, it's exactly the same, because this situation has happened. It is not, you know, there is of course situation, there are some imagination added to the situation to make it literary work. There are some situations maybe like that, but situation, it's very difficult to have the same situation again and again. So that's where it has, everything has its own unique story. So that's the correct answer. Yeah. I'm glad that a translator could really get into the poem and find it out. So that it's a good job. That shows he has done a good job.
Nice.
Thank you.
So we'll move to the next question. It's by Jayashree Mahapatra ji to both of you. How much time per week, per month, you know, it takes to write poems is what she's asking. So if you can answer that.
So you want to go first?
Anything is okay. So Jayashree ji, thank you so much, first of all, but I'm not a poet right now. I mean, nowhere. I have a long way to go. So I would say, where am I? I don't sit and think and write. Sometimes there is a months and months where I don't even write a single line. And sometimes it's a day where, you know, the thoughts will be keep coming on. Sometimes, you know, I'll be cutting or chopping or cooking something and the thought will, I'll run directly and I'll have to write. Otherwise I'll forget. Even just now, what I said just before 2 minutes or 5 minutes, I don't remember now. So I think for me, I don't know how long it takes. It just comes, I write, I pen down. Either I pen down, then it's done. It's safe with me. If I don't do that, it's gone. I can't even remember what I just thought 5 minutes back. So for me, I don't know. There's no time and all. Sometimes for months and months, I haven't written anything. And sometimes God's grace, if things goes well, no, so yeah, it comes. I think this is again one more thing where Shubhranshu was not very happy with me. Let me tell you, all of you, because I was delayed in terms of finishing the book because I was not able to connect, or I was not being able to because of the situation or the scenario, everything. So I would say I write, they'll say. Unless until it is not coming, I won't be able to write. So yeah. So thank you for your question. I hope I answered. Now, Shubhranshu bhai, you can go ahead.
Yes, sure. So it's like I have been saying it quite a lot. It's all authentic. So it is not a process for me, right? So Jayashree has asked this question. So thanks for that, and thanks for joining and asking the question. So it's always good to get questions from elders. So the point is, you know, like there is, like I said, it's a creative thing. So in a creative thing, there is no process. So it is like when it inspires you, it really moves you, then only the words, the feelings would come. When the feelings come, then the words will come. When the words will come, then the poems will come. So if you try to like, there are many people who write poems, every poem, like I see many poetry groups on Chaipat, they write poem every other day. Almost like every day they write one poem. Maybe they have got supernatural power on writing, but I don't have that power of writing. If I write, I will not really it will become a commodity thing for me, right? Doing it, it will not be something special to my heart. I mean, it has become so. I mean, I write every day one poem. So what is so special about it? So I think the less is more. As I said, the less is more for me, and I don't put any timeline. It's a purely creative pursuit. It's a hobby. It's a creative pursuit. So there is no time limit. Yeah.
I think that answers the questions very well. So there is also a comment for you. I think Prashant Mohanty ji, I think he's your college friend.
Yeah.
And he says that, this side of yours, I mean, he could never even think when you were in college. So, yeah. So,
Yeah, at least you know now. So thank you for joining, Prashant. Yeah.
okay. Nirmal Raut ji says, who's your favorite Oriya poet? And did you get inspired from him or her?
Yeah, Nirmal, again, thanks for joining. Nirmal is also my friend from college. Nirmal, by the way, is a very well-known poet and a very respected poet in Odisha. So thanks again, Nirmal, for joining. And he used to write in college also quite a lot. And he has many books to his credit. So I am not as well versed in literature as Nirmal is. So Nirmal, just kind of forgive me if I cannot answer your question. So one poet, a couple of poets. I mean, there are different genres of poetry. This is one book where I wrote the love poems, but I have written patriotic poets, revolutionary poems. I have written, like children's poems. I've written bhajans. So there are kind of I would say philosophical poems which I got inspired from different people. There are so many people. I think there are philosophical poems where Dr. Sitakan Mahapatra is a good inspiration. Then there are poems like the revolutionary poems where Ravi Singh is a big inspiration. Then there are many different type of poems which I have written. So each genre has its own inspiration. So I don't have like Ramakant Rathore. Dr. Ramakant Rathore is also a big inspiration. The way he has written Sri Radha, I have read the book. So I hope I'm not that great like Nirmal you are. So I try to answer as best as you could. I hope that answers.
So before moving, I think now we'll just take the last set of questions. We have another session where we'll get to hear from our eminent guests. But before that, I think there's a question from Tamil Selvi C. And I think it could be for Banashri Di, which is your most favorite shairi that you've written for yourself that's close to your heart, is the question.
Thank you, Selvi. So she's my childhood friend. Thank you for joining. There are a lot because some of them are really close to my heart, but one which is really apt to everyone, and that there's just few lines, but that shows how is your life is. That I would say that is umr. बिना रुके ही सफर किए जा रहा है. ये जो उम्र है बिना रुके ही सफर किए जा रही है और हम बस ख्वाहिशों को लेके तेरे द्वार पे खड़े हैं. So that's it. Yeah, this is the shortest one, but this I always feel this means a lot. When sometimes that's words says a lot of things which you never describe. So yeah, I believe this is the one. Thank you, Selvi.
Okay, so there aren't any questions right now, but if they come up, then maybe later again towards the closure we can ask you. We'll move to our eminent guest, Professor Ara, who we would request to please share her opinion about the book. She is the reviewer of the book, so I'm sure she has lots to share with us today evening. Sorry. So, ma'am, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Abhishekta Roy ji. Now I will start speaking in Hindi.
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you, ma'am. Please continue.
Okay. सम्माननीय भगवान जय सिंह सर जी, जो इंग्लिश के प्रोफेसर होने के साथ साथ हमारे गुरु भी रह चुके हैं. साथ ही ऐसा सौभाग्य हुआ कि वे मेरे सहकर्मी भी बने. सम्माननीय डॉक्टर भगवान जय सिंह जी, पोएट शुभ्रांशु महापात्र जी और अनुवादिका सुश्री बनश्री महापात्र जी और बहुत ही अच्छी तरह से संचालन करने वाली प्यारी सी संचालिका और यहाँ उपस्थित सभी विद्वजन एवं श्रोतागण, मैं सभी का स्वागत करती हूँ। पथ संगिनी शुभ्रांशु शेखर महापात्र जी का दूसरा ओडिया काव्य संकलन है। इसका हिंदी अनुवाद बनश्री महापात्र द्वारा किया गया है। सुधांशु जी की ज्यादातर कविताएं प्रेम से संबंधित हैं। एक तरह से कहा जाए तो प्रेम और प्रेमिका का सौंदर्य उनकी कविता का मुख्य स्वर है। प्रेम शाश्वत और चिरंतन होने के कारण कवि हृदय का आवेग बनकर फूट पड़ता है, क्योंकि हम सभी जानते हैं हर सृजन के मूल में प्रेम है। शायद ईश्वर ने भी ये दुनिया बनाई प्रेम की खातिर। वो अकेले पड़ गए, उन्हें भी प्यार की जरूरत पड़ी। प्यार जो है ऐसा खुराक है, इंसान को जिला देता है और जीने का पाथेय उसे देता है। तो कवि हृदय इस प्रेम से भला कैसे अछूता रह सकता है? तो हम देखते हैं कवि शुभ्रांशु महापात्र भी इससे अछूते नहीं रह पाए हैं। कवि को आगे बढ़ने के लिए नायिका प्रेरित करती है, क्योंकि कवि जो है और कोई नायिका है जो उसके हृदय को आंदोलित करती है, प्रभावित करती है। शारीरिक सौंदर्य के साथ साथ वो कवि का हाथ पकड़कर उसे मानो आगे ले जाने के लिए तैयार है। यहाँ पर पथसंगिनी ये जो शीर्षक है, इससे पता चलता है कि कवि की ख्वाहिश है कि वो प्रेमिका के संग संग चले, प्रेमिका उनके संग संग चले। प्रेम यहाँ पर बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण बन पड़ा है। साथ ही उनकी एक कविता अगर हम देखें, दिले आग कविता में कवि नायिका अथवा प्रेमिका के अपरूप सौंदर्य से अभिभूत होकर उसकी याद में कविता का सृजन करना चाहता है। स्मृति भी उनकी कविताओं में जुड़ी हुई है। कविताओं में स्मृति का होना बहुत ही अनिवार्य है। बगैर स्मृति के कविता में सौंदर्य नहीं आता। कभी कभी अतीत को याद करता है तो कभी भविष्य के लिए कोई मंशा तैयार करता है। तो कवि ये भी कामना करता है कि अगर उसका इकरार उसे मिल जाए तो वो उसे जीवन साथी बनाकर आगे बढ़ जाएगा। हर तलक आशिक ये कहे, फैलाए बाहों का हार आगे तेरे, चाहूं बस तेरा ही इकरार, राहों में बनके जीवन साथी मेरे। तो यहाँ पर साफ हो जाता है कवि इंतजार करता है। आप लोगों ने वो गीत सुना है ना, इंतहा हो गई इंतजार की। तो इंतजार में न जाने कितने पल गुजर जाते हैं। आप जिससे प्यार करते हैं उसके लिए आप इंतजार करते हैं, और इंतजार की घड़ी भी जो होती है वो बहुत लंबी होती है। प्रेम का इंतजार करना प्रेमी प्रेमिका के लिए स्वाभाविक बात है। प्रेमिका के आने की भले ही गुंजाइश ना हो, फिर भी प्रेमी एक लंबी अवधि तक उसकी राह देखता थकता नहीं। प्रेमी को कहाँ थकान होती है, वो तो बस उस चंद्रमा को देखना चाहता है। यादों के सपने बुनता हुआ वो अपनी माशुका का चेहरा तलाश करना चाहता है। दुख की बात ये है कि कवि जिसकी यादों में खोया हुआ है वो किसी और बन चुकी है। कभी कभी होता है कि प्रेम में आप जिससे प्रेम करते हैं उससे कभी नाता टूट जाता है, वो किसी और घर की शोभा बन जाती है। तो एक कविता में कवि की ऐसी स्थिति हुई है, लेकिन फिर भी कवि जो है आशावादी है। यहाँ पर प्रेम जो है शारीरिक प्रेम ना बनकर उससे ऊपर उठ जाता है। कवि आशावादी है कि जरूर रूह से रूह का मिलन होगा, यानी आत्मा से आत्मा का मिलन होगा, जो सच्चा प्रेम है। शारीरिक प्रेम तो क्षण भर होता है, लेकिन आत्मिक प्रेम जो होता है वो हमेशा स्थायी होता है। तो कवि ने यहाँ पर एक तरह से बहुत ही ऊंचे प्रेम की बात की है। वो साधारण प्रेम से परे है, उससे बहुत ऊपर है। कवि दैहिक प्रेम से उठकर अमर प्रेम के लिए आशावादी है। तो प्रेम का जो स्वरूप है यहाँ पर निखर पड़ा है। इंतजार कविता की हम जो कुछ पंक्तियों को देखते हैं वो मन मोह लेती हैं। अधूरा है प्यार, अधूरे हैं हम, अधूरा है प्यार, अधूरे हैं हम, साथ मिले ना मिले रूहें मिलती रहेंगी हर जन्म। हर जन्म के लिए कवि जो है अपनी प्रेमिका की ख्वाहिश रखता है कि हर जन्म में वही प्रेमिका मुझे मिलती रहे। हम उनकी कविताओं में ज्यादातर देखते हैं कविता इसलिए और ज्यादा खूबसूरत बन पड़ती है कि कवि ने प्रेमिका के रूप सौंदर्य का बखान किया है। क्योंकि प्रेमिका का सौंदर्य जो है वो कविताओं में, साहित्य में बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण तत्व है। तो सौंदर्य के बिना जो है कैसे कवि आकृष्ट होगा? तो सौंदर्य ऐसा तत्व है। आप हिंदी साहित्य के इतिहास में आप रीति काल में देखें तो रीतिकालीन कवि बिहारी ने भी नायिका के सौंदर्य का वर्णन किया है। तो यहाँ सवाल उठता है, कौन है वो रूपसी जिसके रूप की आभा ने कवि को बेचैन कर दिया है? तुम्हारी नजरें कविता में वो रूपसी की नजरों, जो रूपसी की जो नजरें हैं उससे कवि जो है नजर रूपी डोरी से बंध जाता है और उस बंधन को स्वीकार करता है। प्रेमी उस बंधन से मुक्त होना नहीं चाहता। उस बंधन को स्वीकारने में ही, उसे अपनाने में ही उसे अपार सुख मिलता है। वो अनजानी राजकुमारी उनके दिल में राज कर रही है। नजर से नजर मिलने पर राजकुमारी की नजर झुक जाती है। उसकी इस अदा पर प्रेमी अभिभूत हो जाता है, मगर उसकी कमी उसे खलती है, क्योंकि वो मान लेता है कि तुम बिन ये जीवन है सूना, जैसे बिन ताल कोई गाना। तुम बिन ये जीवन है सूना, जैसे बिन ताल कोई गाना। कैसे प्रेमिका के बगैर वो रह सकता है? इसलिए हर क्षण वो प्रेमिका की कामना करता है। दौलत शोहरत सब कुछ होने के बावजूद वो प्रेमिका की जुदाई में दर बदर भटक रहा है। उसके पास सब कुछ है लेकिन प्रेमिका नहीं है जिसको साथ लेकर वो अपनी जिंदगी काट सकेगा। जीवन बेसुरा बन गया है, मगर जब वो दिखाई पड़ती है तो उसकी शर्मीली हंसी प्रेमी हृदय को आंदोलित करती है। प्रेम में मुस्कुराहट प्रेमी प्रेमिका को जोड़ने वाला एक सेतु है, क्योंकि दोनों जब एक दूसरे को देखते हैं और दिल में अनुराग उत्पन्न होता है और वे मुस्कुराते हैं तो हृदय जो है जुड़ जाता है। तो मुस्कान जो है वो सेतु के बराबर है। प्रेमिका की आंखों की भाषा को प्रेमी सहजता से समझ लेता है, क्योंकि वहां कोई जटिलता और कुटिलता की गुंजाइश नहीं होती। हम सफर जब एक दूसरे से बातें करते हैं तो दुनिया को माने भूल जाते हैं। प्रेमी प्रेमिका बातचीत करते हैं, उन्हें होश ही नहीं रहता है कौन है आसपास। वो जो माहौल है, माहौल का उन्हें ध्यान नहीं होता और वक्त का भी ध्यान नहीं रहता। कवि कहता है, बातों बातों में भूले हम समय का ज्ञान, सफर अच्छा लगने लगा जो तुम्हारा भी बटा थोड़ा ध्यान। यानी वो भी उसकी नजर की कल्पना करता है, उम्मीद करता है। अपनी स्वर्णमयी प्रेमिका के प्रेम में तल्लीन प्रेमी उसे पाने की कामना कर उसके प्रेम में डूब जाने की बात करता है। विडंबना ये है कि कवि को वो कभी दिखाई देती है तो कभी खो जाती है। किसी अनजान पते पर, न जाने प्रेमिका कहाँ खो जाती है, कौन से अनजान पते पर, कवि को पता नहीं चलता। फिर भी प्रेमी द्वारा उसे ढूंढने का सिलसिला जारी रहता है। प्रेमी आंख है, वो हर जगह उसे तलाशेगा और ढूंढेगा। जब प्रेमिका 16 बरस की यानी षोडशी के रूप में कवि को दिखाई देती है तो उसकी आंखों की मदहोशी में वो डूब जाता है। यानी प्रेम, सुधांशु की कविता में प्रेम ही प्रेम है, प्रेम का पारावार है, प्रेम का पारावार फूट पड़ा है। तो नायिका के रूप की यमुना जो है वो बहने लगती है। सखियों की भीड़ में भी अपने सौंदर्य के कारण वो अलग थलग पड़ जाती है, क्योंकि आप लोगों ने देखा होगा जो मुख्य नायिका होती है वो और नायिकाओं से बिल्कुल अलग दिखाई पड़ने लगती है, विशेष दिखाई पड़ने लगती है। साहित्य की दासी कविता में कवि ने नायिका के साहित्य के प्रेम को दर्शाया है और बड़ी ही सुंदर पंक्तियों में कहा है, रात और दिन बस संग रहना चाहो, रात और दिन बस संग रहना चाहो, हर एक कविता के रस को तुम जी लो, हर एक कविता के रस को तुम जी लो, बस यही दोहराओ। क्योंकि कविता का रस यहाँ क्या हो सकता है, श्रृंगार रस ही हो सकता है। तो वो कहता है कि श्रृंगार के रस को तुम जी लो, श्रृंगार के रस का तुम पान कर लो, तभी जो है प्रेम हमारा गाढ़ा होगा। तो हम ये है वो सचमुच में एक कहते हैं ना, प्रेम की गहराई को छूती जा रही है, आगे भी जो है वो और गहरी होगी। तो हम देखते हैं कि प्रेम के साथ साथ नायिका के सौंदर्य का भी कवि ने बड़ी ही गहराई से अंकन किया है। उसके नैसर्गिक सौंदर्य साधारण नहीं है, नैसर्गिक है। उसके नैसर्गिक सौंदर्य से अभिभूत कवि उसे निद्रिता सुंदरी कहते हैं। फिर नायिका की आंखों का आकर्षण कवि हृदय को अवरुद्ध कर लेता है। कवि के इस सौंदर्य वर्णन में कहीं कहीं आध्यात्मिकता की झांकी मिलती है। कविता जो है वो साधारण स्तर से ऊपर उठ जाती है, ऊंची हो जाती है, तो वहां आध्यात्मिकता की भी झांकी मिलती है। कवि आश्चर्यचकित है कि अपूर्व सौंदर्य की अधिकारिणी ये रूपसी कौन है? कौन तुम, हे अनजान राजकुमारी, कौन तुम और किसकी ललना हो? तुम तो इतनी अद्भुत हो, इतनी प्यारी हो, मुझे आकर्षित करती हो, आखिर तुम कौन हो? तुम बिन ये जीवन जो है सूना और फीका है। अपनी प्रेम कविताओं में कवि ने प्रेम की पराकाष्ठा को प्रदर्शित किया है। चारों तरफ प्रेम, सृजन के मूल में जो प्रेम की अवस्थिति होती है उसको कवि सुधांशु ने साकार कर दिखाया है। हमारे सामने स्पष्ट हो जाता है कि कवि शुभ्रांशु महापात्र की प्रेम कविताएं एक ओर तो नायिका के सौंदर्य का वर्णन करती हैं और दूसरी ओर उसके प्रति आसक्ति और प्रेम को दर्शाती है। हर जगह उन्हें प्रेमिका का मुखमंडल दिखाई देता है। कभी वो मिल जाती है और कभी उसकी जुदाई जो है कवि को खटकती है, कवि से सहन नहीं होती जुदाई। और बिल्कुल मेरे सामने भी शुभ्रांशु की कविता जो है वो एक नए स्वाद की कविता थी। अतः मैं विश्वास करती हूँ प्रेम से उपजी उनकी उड़िया कविताओं का अनुवाद जिसे बनश्री महापात्र ने किया है वो हिंदी के पाठकों तक पहुंचेगी तथा उन्हें प्रभावित करेगी और उनको एक नया स्वाद देगी। और मेरी तरफ से शुभ्रांशु जी को बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं उनकी अगली यात्रा के लिए। धन्यवाद। इतना ही कहकर मैं अपना वक्तव्य समाप्त करती हूँ।
धन्यवाद Madam Abhishekta.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम। आप जिस तरह से आपने रिव्यू किया ये सुन के भी बहुत अच्छा लगा। एक तो है जब कवि ने खुद अपनी कविताओं को पाठ किया, वो बहुत अच्छा लगा। पर जिस तरह से आपने रिव्यू को पेश किया वो भी बहुत अच्छा लगा। जो आपके गले में भी जो मिठास है, जिस तरह से आपने पूरे चीज को सजा के बोला, बहुत सुनने में बहुत अच्छा लगा। थैंक यू सो मच मैम।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Okay. So after ma'am, we have a little surprise for you. So we had requested a very famous singer to be with us today. She's Srimati Shishmita Das ji. Most of you might be able to recognize her. She is a very well-known voice in East India and Central India. She's sung in many programs, in TV shows, in FM channels. She's also the recipient of many prestigious awards. And ma'am has actually, her vision is to inspire not only the youngsters, not only with her music, but also with quality lyrics. I think that has been the focus of ma'am's writings and her music. So we have a little video. She's actually traveling and she's in a very remote place is what I heard. Internet connectivity is very poor, so we will play the video, and ma'am has a message for us. There is no sound. There is no sound.
Yeah, I think you have to voice.
I think audience can't hear. So
yeah. So it is audible here. So I don't know what is the way to make it audible to others. Can you make it bigger volume, others? Okay, can you start it?
No, it is not audible.
No, yeah, it's not audible. Okay, not sure. Maybe this we have to skip it because of the technical problem. There was a 40-second message that she has given to the audience.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. So, but then, if it's a technical problem, then we can't really help.
Yeah.
We have to move on then. So we've almost come to the last segment. Now we would request our chief guest, Dr. Bhagwan Jai Singh ji, to please address all of us, like the house present here. Sir, we are waiting eagerly to hear from you.
Good evening, everybody. It gives me great pleasure to be here. Abhishekta, my dear student Anjuman, Banasri, Sudhanshu, the poet. My friend is here also on the audience, Ajay Ketan Mahanti, and dear friends. I was enjoying the kind of deliberation that are going on so long. I didn't want to interrupt you. Actually, Abhishekta, Banasri, and the question that came from the audience really enjoyed me. I enjoyed a lot. I thought I should listen to you night long. Sorry, because you have to stop somewhere, and I did it. Thank you for that. And I'm extremely happy today that we are gathering. There is a gathering of writers who have gathered here on the Zoom platform to celebrate the birth of a book. And that is Pathasangini by poet Subhranshu Shekhar Mahapatra. Launching a book is like showing to the world that a flower has blossomed in the garden of Odia literature or Hindi literature, whatever you call it. This is really grand. I celebrate the birth with all the pomp and splendor. I think this is a great occasion for all of us to celebrate. Since I could not read the translation in Hindi, unfortunately the book that has been sent by Subhranshu has not reached. I think it will be reaching me tomorrow. Anyway, as described by Banasri and Subhranshu, the poems are the poems of love. They're mostly feeling poems. As Anjuman described it, there's a sea of love, the sea of romantic emotions here. Really great. I have not read these feeling poems for such a long time. I enjoyed every bit of it. I have translated a poem just now, and the poem is Intejar, as you translated from Apekya, I think.
Pratikya.
Mm.
Mhm.
So I'll recite it first. Then I'll speak a few words about it. Waiting. The poem is Apekya. Integer, I think. Manasri, you have done it.
Yes.
Integer.
Yes.
You also refer to this in your deliberation. Anyway. I know. Sorry. Word in the other.
Dr. Joy Singh dropped out or something. Oh, by mistake, he dropped out from the. No, he's there. I think. If you see.
He's there, but I think internet problem. So he's, but
Yeah.
he's there. I can see.
Can you
Okay.
make him?
Okay. Okay, I'm doing it. Okay. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Waiting. I know you shall never come. Yet I shall wait for you. In all anxiousness near the gate, I'm not sure how long shall I have to wait. From the day my eyes have locked with your eyes on dreams checkered circumference, all my waiting has started to trace through the morning, day, evening, and midnight as well. Restless remains my mind, my soul, when your eyes continue to frolic before my eyes. How should I explain why my mind goes on the quest for a union? Down the distant bend of this unfamiliar street, in front of the unknown malls, your beauty comes flashing across my mind from all around. I think I must make my mind stop wandering and realize that I cannot cross the distances as we are a galaxy apart from each other, you and me. How should I make myself understand that life is futile without love? How should I make myself understand that life is futile without love and not a wee bit space is left in the circle of her heart for anyone else? Maybe she's a darling to someone. Maybe someone else has made her his own, but we have been burned to this world, one for the other, one for the other. So this is a poem, and the essence of the poem is here in this: life is futile without love. Love, and this I think sets the tone of the entire collection of poems, Patha Sangini. So a person who accompanies the poet in the journey of life, who embellishes life with all the splendor and all that romance, all that greatness, you may say, the meaning of life. That is the Pathasangini. I mean, a person who has to move along with the poet to fulfill the life. According to Osho, as you know, friends, love is never complete. Love is never complete, no matter how you try, how hard you try. Yet it is everlasting. And love's nature always remains incomplete. The moment it becomes complete, love ceases to remain. as such. Most of the love marriages, I don't say, do not get a successful end in the sense that the fruition comes through such a union. If love becomes unique, I mean complete, then it ends. So Subramanian's poem that tells that life is meaningless, life is simply futile without love. So incompleteness is celebrated throughout. There is, I don't think if there is any kind of union that is celebrates which is based on completion or fruition. So, so I don't like to give definition of love, but I do say that when he says life is futile without love, it comes to a kind of sensation that life has to move on inside the love, outside the love, through the love, because one has to go from step to step through love only. Because love fulfills life. Love gives you all that you crave for life. So life is not futile if there is love around. So to the translation part of it, I'd like to say, since I have not read the translation, I cannot comment on that in the quality of translation, but the way Manus was describing the experience, I think she must have done it marvelously well, because she was very emotional when she was describing how she did it. So most of the translators, particularly Hindi, of course, Anjuman has translated one of my poems that was commissioned by All India Radio, I think, Katak, and that was a good poem. But most of the translators, particularly Hindi, they simply think translation is just turning one language to another. That's not translation. Translation involves a lot of things, friends. It involves adaptation, it involves imitation, it involves also transposition. There's a theoretical part of it. I don't want to go into it, but I say that translation is not merely turning from one language to another, just getting one word for original word. I mean, you can't get an equivalent TL, I mean, target language for the SL, that is source language. One is Odia, that is language one, and other is Hindi, that is language two. So why should a person translate and render it into another language for what? As Subramanian described, this is only for the French, definitely for Hindi readers. Those who can't understand Odia, and they can understand easily in Hindi. But the thing is, there are lots of Hindi translations going on in Odisha. I have not enjoyed a single translation because of the fact that sometimes when I read the Hindi translation, I feel I am reading an Odia poem. So it's a pity. Most of my poems have been translated and published in different journals in the hinterland. But I don't think if they give the right kind of sensation and right kind of emotion with which I embellished my poetry. So translation has to, cross through the borders. And the border, I mean, they have to carry the culture. There's certain words. Take for instance, chuda. There is a word which in Hindi call poha, and some people will translate it as flattened rice. Does it make any sense? Flattened rice, it makes no sense. And some people pakhal, it's very familiar kind of food, or you may call delicacy. Now somebody, I think some tribal, a tribal man has done it and is earning lakhs of rupees by popularizing his pakhal kind of thing on the internet. So a language, a particular language has to carry the culture, has to render the culture from one language to another language. So one has to, so however best translator might be, but it's very difficult to translate poetry. When I was teaching at Ravenshaw College, we had translation special paper. I was there for 10 years. And I have not seen a single translator willing to do poetry, because poetry, the thing is too tough. They used to do short stories, they used to do, novels, fiction, but no one is willing to do poetry because they think poetry is too tough, because maximal approximation can never be achieved in poetry, because poetry is such, you have to catch the nuances, you have to catch the complexity of language, you have to catch the inner hidden meaning of the poem. It's very difficult. To translate an Oriya poem to English or a Hindi poem to English is a tough job. It's not that easy. But because there's certain approximation between Hindi and Oriya, people do it. But as I told you just now, that some Oriya poems I read in Hindi translation, I feel as if I'm reading still the Oriya poems. But I'm sure Banasri must have done the great service by rendering Subramanian's poem in English. That must be very good. And think it is because the culture, original culture of the source language and the writer should be constructed into another cultural milieu. And the milieu is important. So one has to catch that milieu. And translation is very tough. That is very difficult. So Subramanian's poem really I liked a lot, and they're all like the spontaneous poems. I like spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, and sometimes we use a word falling in love. I don't know why people can fall in love. Is it something something that one should not think of? Is it in anything best, puerile? So one should say rise in love. Subhas was really risen in love by writing such beautiful poems. I must tell the feeling poems, poems that come out of heart and go straight into the heart. And it's like when I was reading his poetry in Odia a few days back, I was reminded of a medieval lover who goes to the lady love and says, "Smile a little, my love, I can conquer air for you. Smile a little, my love, I can conquer air for you." So that's a kind of feeling which I think Subramanian has put inside each and every word that he has used in Pathasangini. That's really beautiful, beautiful. Because the entire book is full of love. And I was reminded of my young days when I was thought love as uppermost in my life. And I thought love is nothing but only a person has to live and die for love. So these are love poems, and in most of the poems, he has spelled out something like self-annihilation, because it's based on sacrifice. When Lady Love says, "Can you jump into the flooded river?" Back comes the reply from the lover, "Why not?" So immediately jumps into the river. And he says, "Can you go to a jungle, the dense jungle where there is a tiger prowling?" "Yes, I can," and immediately jumps into it. That is a blind love, but I don't think Subramanian is suffering from any kind of blind love. But anyway, the love that he has spelled out in this volume is really good. I expect a lot from him, and I think his is a mighty pen, and we expect a lot of such creations from his pen in the future years. At least he can enrich our literature, Oriya literature, and in the process of Hindi literature by getting more and more translations. Subramanian, you are really great. I salute you. You are really good, and I think you'll carry on with this, and you'll definitely enrich our literature, our literary tradition and heritage. Thank you very much, friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure to hear you. How honestly you spoke about the challenges of translation, how beautifully you also translated, reviewed the book, and enlightened us with some of the truths of life. And I particularly love the line "rise in love." I think I will start using this line "rise in love and never fall in love." I think we all should rise in love. We all should rise, with a lot of love. With this, I would, yes, so we have almost come to an end of the day's program. I hope you all had a lot of fun, a lot of, you enjoyed listening to the poems, the good, beautiful reviews. I read somewhere that, a poet expresses his inner feelings, but the audience, they make it their own. So I think we all have been able to make these poems our own today. And congratulations again to Shubhranshu Bhai and Banashree ji. And over to you, Shubhranshu Da. I think you should be the one to just conclude. I'm sure you have lots to share. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Abhisikta. And this is my pleasure to give vote of thanks. So first of all, I would like to thank my wife, Susmita, who is also there in the call, because of whom I am where I am today. There is not enough words to thank her. She is my pillar of support, her encouragement to support and pursue my hobbies is something which is behind all these things. A happy family is the basis of everything else that you do in life. And she has ensured that my family is, my biggest strength. And I really cannot thank her enough. There are not enough words to thank. Secondly, I would like to thank my children, Adarsh and Ananya. As you know, Adarsh is doing all the IT stuff in the back end. Now he's visible also on the screen. So I know he's in 12th and it's a lot of pressure because of all the board exams and then entrance exams and all, but still he has sat with me. Maybe one thing we missed to do is in the rehearsal is to play the video on Mrs. Das. But other than that, he has really spent a lot of time, very meticulously taken on the challenge, even though I told him yesterday only that you have to do all these things. And also Ananya did the front cover design. The beautiful cover that you see is done by her. So I would like to thank both of them. They were as excited as me for this function. Third, I would like to thank my parents, Mr. Chaturbhuja Mahapatra and Mrs. Kanaklata Mahapatra. They are on the screen. You can see them. They have encouraged me from my childhood to read books and never forced me to do anything what they want. I have done whatever I have wanted in life. They never forced me to do anything. And then I would like to thank my esteemed guest, Dr. Bhagwan Jai Singh and Professor Ara, Anjuman Ara, to find some time from your busy schedules and grace this occasion. It was inspiring to hear both of you. I am not from a literature background. I am from engineering, science and engineering background. So it was very enlightening to hear both of you who are, such accomplished people in the world of literature to review my book and say a few words. This is something very different that we have to do day in, day out for our living. So it's very inspiring. I would also like to thank Banasri for, putting all her heart and soul into translating this book. As many of you would have seen, I don't need to tell more. She went really deep into the book, into the poems, to keep the spirit of the poems alive while translating. I had read some of her, stanzas on the internet, and I've also seen her work ethics when she was teaching my daughter for dance classes. So I was very confident that she will do a good job, and she has exceeded my expectation. Thank you, Banasri. I would deeply thank Abhisikta. Yeah, deeply thank Abhisikta for spending a lot of time preparing for the event, arranging the event flow, writing the event script, practicing over and over again, giving lot many suggestions, good suggestions for the event. Thank you, Abhisikta. Thanks are also due to Neeraj and Anurag. I think both of them are there. My Neeraj has been my friend for many years now, from 2001, when I know him from the days of Infosys. Before that, he was also a scientist at DRDO and a different lab. And Anurag, he has his own company, and he is very, very busy. He is still give a lot of time doing the proofreading. Both of them are from Hindi background. They are from Banaras and Patna. So I asked them to do the proofreading. They did it, and both of them did not want to be known also for doing that. They did it after their extremely busy hours, after midnight. They sat through the poems and wait one by word to correct it. Thanks a lot. There are many others who also contributed. I apologize if I cannot thank each of you one by one. And last but not the least, I would like to thank this wonderful audience who sat through this program almost 1.5 hours now to be successful. I would like to each of us, if you can come on video, if you can switch on your video and come to the screen, then you can take a group picture. We'll take a group picture in terms of the screen capture, so that we can keep it for our memory. So I would request if all of you can switch on your videos, and then we tweak the group picture, and then we can end. Okay. So let me see, all of us are there. Okay. Dr. Anjuman, if you can switch on your video. We would like to have you on the screen, and I think all others are there. Okay, so it is not coming to one screen, so I will try to take two screens, so there are more people now. So just give me a minute, I will try. So we'll keep this for our posterity. There are few people who are still not on video. Can I request them to come on the video, please?
साफ होगा.
Okay, thank you, I see more people now on the okay, I am going to the next screen. So okay, thank you. Yeah, thanks all of you for being there. You are all my source of inspiration.
Mute.
Okay, so yeah, so with that we have come to the end of this beautiful day, and I thank all of you for being there. We are exactly at 7 o'clock. So yeah, so you know how the book is available. I hope the book it is there in the chat box. So please go ahead and others, can you please post the book link again? If somebody has missed how to order the link, you can. Okay, have you posted again? Okay.
Before we leave, few words from my side to all of you. If that okay, Shubhranshu bhai?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I would like to say, ये तो बस एक ही शाम थी, ये तो बस एक ही शाम थी जिसके मुलाकात में आप हमारे संग थे. आशा करते हैं ऐसे कई शामें आएंगी जहां पे हम और आप बैठेंगे और एक दूसरे की तारीफ करेंगे. कुछ आप भी कहिएगा, कुछ हम सुनेंगे. फिलहाल तो हमने इसमें कुछ कहा है जो आपको सुनना है. आशा करते हैं आप हमें ऐसे ही प्यार करते रहेंगे. थैंक यू. गो गेट दिस बुक. इवन मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी उन सबसे जिन्होंने उड़िया बुक भी पढ़ा है, बिकॉज ये बहुत ही अलग होगा. इसमें मेरे कुछ शब्द और मेरी कुछ भावनाएं भी है जो मैंने इसमें डाला है. So I hope all of you will like it, and my humble thanks to Anjuman ji and Bhagwan ji. I got to know a lot from you. हो सकता है मैंने कुछ गलतियां भी की हो, but yeah, अपनी बच्ची समझ के माफ कर दीजिएगा. And thank you for this opportunity, Shubhranshu bhai.
Okay, thank you, thanks everyone. So yeah, thanks for joining this call. Bye bye.